Hi, welcome to Fawn Square with your hosts Samantha Fawn, Matthew Fawn, and then
Nathan
Chang.
To call our number, to get on the show, call 1310-504-4363.
Okay, today,
First topic, who will be the best rookie in the NBA? What do you think, Sam?
I'm going to say Andrew Wiggins, just because he's probably going to go to Minnesota, and there's not really a lot of star power in Minnesota, so in a couple of years it's going to be Andrew Wiggins' team, and I think this year he's just going to be because he's going to have to be like a Carmelo Anthony and carry the team because there's nobody that good, so it's his chance to shine.
I think it's Jabari Parker. I mean, getting an opportunity to play with Jason, to get to know a good coach like Jason Kidd, because he just went to the Bucks. And I just think he's better on defensively, and I don't think Andrew Wiggins is physical enough. I think Jabari Parker had better mentoring in college by Coach Mike Krzyzewski.
I actually agree that Jabari Parker is going to get a lot of opportunities in his NBA career, definitely more than Andrew Wiggins, because the Wolves are a better team than the Milwaukee Bucks. They need all the help. The Milwaukee needs all the help they can get.
Okay, I think we have a caller.
Yeah, hello, this is Neymar, and I broke my back, and you're actually completely wrong about everything you said in basketball. So, yeah, I'm just calling radio shows right now because I broke my back. So, yeah, I'm going to hang up.
Who do you think's going to win? Who's going to be the Rookie of the Year?
I'm the Rookie of the Year.
Oh, never knew you played basketball. Okay.
Next topic. Let's see here. It is the NBA Finals prediction. Who do you think, Sam?
I'm going to say the Cavs, just because they're probably going to be getting Kevin Love, and then if you have Kevin Love, LeBron James, and Kyrie Irving, he has another big three again. So you see how well the big three worked, and this is an even bigger three.
Well, I think it's going to be the Los Angeles Clippers because they just have a phenomenal team. Blake Griffin, Chris Paul. I think Blake Griffin next year is going to take over the team, and it's his team now.
I have to say OKC because they've gotten always short they've gotten short every single year. This is their time to shine. The Miami Heat are jumbled up, and I doubt that Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, and LeBron James can be a new big three. And plus, I don't think the LA Clippers have faced the OKC and they've come up short against them. I think OKC is going to win.
Next, first
topic.
we have a caller first.
Hey guys, this is Aaron from Long Beach. I was wondering, who do you think is going to be the most improved team in the NBA this year? Who's going to make the playoffs that no one expected?
Oh, but no.
Well, the playoffs. Well, East or West?
In the East.
The East. The Brooklyn Nets. No, actually, the Washington Wizards are coming from behind. I mean, I think they might make it to the third round because adding new additions like Paul Pierce and who was their first round pick?
I don't know.
Jason,
Just
do
chat,
you remember?
chat.
Okay. Next is the Super Bowl.
No, you have to. Oh, personally, I think for the most improved team, it's gonna be the Charlotte Hornets because they have a guy like Kemba Walker, and then adding Lance Stevenson is just gonna. They're gonna be a lot better, and having Michael Jordan there, it's just gonna be a better team.
Okay. Next is the Super Bowl. Super Bowl prediction. Who do you think, Nathan?
I have to say that the New Orleans Saints are going to win this year's Super Bowl. They have got some pretty good. They just got Champ Bailey from the Denver Broncos, and you know how good he is on defense. He's going to be a defensive impact and help.
Well, I think a team that. Well, let's see here. The Seahawks are looking pretty good, but the Green Bay Packers are good. I don't know yet, but Seahawks for me right now.
I'm gonna say Personally, for me, I have to go with the New Orleans Saints as well because you have a guy like Drew Brees as QB and Jimmy Graham. That's a pretty hard combination to crack, and then adding Champ Bailey is going to help their defense, and you have a solid running game, and they're going to be hard to beat.
And thank you for tuning into Fawn Squared
Plus
with
Nathan.
with Sam Fawn, Matthew Fawn, and Nation Zhang. Thank you.
5.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Matthew Phelps alongside Joe and Rex with your 3-Man Sports radio update. Our first story of the night is the Dodgers versus the Angels. Joe?
I think the Angels will win because they won last time 5-0, I think, and it doesn't make a difference that they're switching pitchers because the Angels won last time, and I think they're going to win again.
Yeah, Trout had a great game last night, and it was just what we expected. So we expect him to have another big night tonight, and we expect the Angels pitching to be great too. Rex?
I think the Dodgers are going to win because the Angels threw arguably their best pitcher, Garrett Richards, yesterday, and he pitched amazing. I think the Dodgers are really determined to get some more runs and run support for their pitchers, and their defense really needs to sharpen up because they made some key errors yesterday that cost Greinke the ball game.
Also, if you'd like to call us, the number is 1-800-111-1116. Okay. Our second story of the night is the Ray Rice suspension.
It doesn't make sense that they found another guy smoking weed, and he only got like 3 game suspension, and then this guy, he's like beating up people, and then they're like, oh no, you can just take a break for now for 2 games, but they're like, oh, weed's terrible, but beating people up is like, that's nothing. You can beat people up anytime, so that's what I think.
Yeah, that was a good comment right there, Joe. Obviously, it wasn't good what he did, and he should have been suspended more, but, you know, it is what it is. Rex?
I want to bring back the argument that sports players shouldn't be treated differently from regular people. Because if you remember back, Ray Lewis, and I think it was 2000, he had someone kill for him or something like that. I'm not exactly sure on the details, but he got let off, and a lot of times sports athletes, like with the Dustin Johnson golf scandal, he's getting let off pretty easy. Like with other people, they could go to jail for having crack, but Dustin Johnson, he's just getting like a 6-month ban. So I think Ray Rice got let off pretty easy with only a 2 game suspension and nothing else.
Yeah. All right, our next topic is the A-Rod suspension. A-Rod will be coming back soon, and, yeah.
I think A-Rod should be banned from the league because he was juicing up like every day, and it was all like he could get past the thing, and he was just like juicing up every day. He was just like taking it every day, just like I just gotta take it. It's just like my daily routine, and then no one cared. They're all like, "Nope, he should come back because his juicing up is over." And then he's like, "Actually, it isn't because I just need to take this one more." So I think he should be banned.
I think we have a caller on the line. Let's take that call.
Hey guys, this is Jimmy from Malibu. I was wondering, what do you think baseball should do with steroid users in the Hall of Fame? Should they allow them? Should they not allow them? Should they make a special section? What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I think that steroids should just not be allowed, and A-Rod is a bad example to the whole entire world. Yes. Rex?
Oh, I think we have a caller.
Hi, is this the talk show?
Yes, this is ESPN, yes.
Hi, this is A-Rod here, and I don't like what you're saying about me. I think that I'm a great player, and I'm not juicing up every day.
Yes, you are, because I saw you in the back of an alley. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
I don't like
You
your
were
show at all.
juicing
I
up
never
in an
did.
alley
Yeah.
with that Bosch guy, and I thought he ate 5,000 burgers when they showed the thing, but he didn't. But
No.
I saw you juicing up in an
No,
alley. Don't
no,
lie.
no.
It's okay. Denial is the first step of what is it? What is that thing called? Recovery. Yeah, you need to start recovering. Just don't deny it, and yeah.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, thank you, A-Rod. That was a great call for us. Our last topic is the MLB trade deadline.
Oh, I got this one.
I think really the Rays were really dumb because they were like on a huge winning roll. They were like 20-6 or something, and they were just getting back in the race. And then they got rid of Price for some prospects that they didn't really need and some pitchers they didn't really need. So I personally think that it was a bad trade, and I think some of the other deadline deals weren't as good. But overall, I think it was a very active trade deadline, but not exactly successful.
All right, for 3-Man's Press Sports Radio Update, I'm Matthew Phelps, saying goodnight for Joe and Rex.
Hi, I'm Peter Lang here with Aaron Heisen and Jack Chudikoff here with the Jap Sports News. Our first topic is Paul George's leg injury. Aaron, what do you say about that?
I think FIBA shouldn't be letting these players, these stars, play in the off-season. It's too risky for them to get injured.
Yeah, they made a rule about that, and before 1992, they weren't allowed to play in FIBA, NBA players. Jack, what do you think about it?
I think Larry Bird really dropped the ball when they let go of Lance Stevenson because for a little bit more money, they lost one of their best players, and now their best player is Roy Hibbert, and that's sort of the equivalent to failure.
Yeah, with no leader, you can't really have a team. All right, next up we have the MVP announcements for the NBA. What do you have?
I have Kevin Durant winning again. I think he's just the best player, not in the world, but he's the best player in the regular season. He always produces game in and game out a good 30 points, and he will do that this season too.
Jack, what do you have?
Because it's only for the regular season, I had to go with Kevin Durant because I feel like LeBron James, because he's been carrying the load for the Miami Heat for the past 4 years, I think he may take a little bit of breathers throughout the regular season, and he won't be playing at his highest level. And, yeah, so by default, KD's going to win.
Jack, I think we have a caller.
Hey guys, this is Phil Jackson from the New York Knicks.
Hello, Phil.
Can I get a little press on my boy Carmelo Anthony? Why can't he win the MVP this year?
Well, I mean, he's a one-man show. I mean, you can't really do anything by himself. And then, two, there's so many other options. Like, for me, I have D. Rose winning the MVP, coming straight off his torn meniscus. He's going to be explosive, and he'll be a team leader with the Bulls, who I think have an amazing shot winning it all. And our last topic, do you think the Seahawks will turn into the Yankees of football?
I do not think they will. I think they will have one more good season left, and then their defense, which is very cocky, will just blow up, and they won't have anything left. Richard Sherman will be like, oh, I'm the best, and then everybody else on the team will be like, oh, let's not listen to this guy. He's only thinking about himself. And then in one game, he'll try to steal an interception from Earl Thomas, and they'll both fall down, and the other guy will score a touchdown, and their whole season will be over.
What about you?
I think a big part of their team was Marshawn Lynch, and because he's been running through tackles his whole career, I think it's eventually going to catch up to him, and he'll eventually get injured. And yeah, I agree with Aaron on his point about the cockiness of the defense. I think being cocky and thinking they're too good will eventually catch up with them.
Yeah, well, I think that they have. I agree with Aaron. They have another good 1 to 3 years. Oh wait, we have a caller on the line. Yes.
Hey guys, this is Jordan from South Bay. I was wondering, what are your guys' thoughts on Rookie of the Year talk? Who do you think is the star that's going to win it, and who might be a guy that might come out of nowhere in people's minds?
I think Khalil Mack for the Raiders might win the Rookie of the Year because he doesn't have anyone other than maybe Charles Woodson on that Raiders defense to help him out, and he will be getting to the quarterback a lot with his speed.
Yeah, and I think that it will be Jadeveon Clowney, the number 1 overall pick with the Texans, and him on one end and J.J. Watt on the other. I mean, it's unstoppable. I mean, they'll be swarming the pocket, and they're both going to have amazing stats at the end of the year. And Jadeveon Clowney, I think, will be one of the best defensive linemen known.
I've got Teddy Bridgewater because of the fact that I think Adrian Peterson will take a lot of pressure off of him, and he's got some of the receiving threats around him. And I think the guy coming out of nowhere, if Frank Gore gets injured, I think that Carlos Hyde could definitely fill in the position and win Rookie of the Year, but that's assuming that Frank Gore would get injured.
Yeah. All right, here at Jap Sports News, I'm Peter Ling.
I'm Aaron Heisen.
And I'm Jack Chudikoff.
Thanks for listening.
Hello, this is Ty with my partners Jack and Dylan. We are the ESPN Big Three. Today, we are going to talk about the David Price trade, Paul George's injury, Andy Dalton's contract extension, and the NFL predictions. Let's start off with the David Price deal. What do you think about it?
I think it was a good move for the Tigers. It hurt the Rays really bad. They were on a big run, and they traded him to the Tigers. I think it gives the Tigers probably the best pitching rotation in the big leagues. And they have 3 Cy Young Award winners on their team. He'll probably pitch around the second. He'll probably pitch second on their team. I think it makes the Tigers a big threat in the AL.
Yeah, who are the Rays' best pitcher? Alex Cobb?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think the Tigers have the best pitching rotation in baseball right now. They have 3 Cy Young winners, and David Price just adds another player for them for their pitching rotation to make it better, and I think they can make it to the World Series.
The next topic is Paul George's injury. What do you think people was thinking? The basket was so close.
I mean, that is an issue. It's a lot different than the NBA, but I think they can. It's what they choose to do. If they want to play, that's their problem. They have to suffer with the injuries that can happen. But I think it's just weird that they kept showing that injury over and over again. It's really gruesome. I feel bad for the Indiana Pacers, too. They lost their best player. I don't think they make the playoffs this year without Paul George. They're in big, big trouble.
Yeah, his foot was 90 degrees, like just flat. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, I think the Pacers lineup is really going to be bad. They might make the playoffs, but their only good player right now is Roy Hibbert, and we don't even know if he can do anything because last season he stunk it up in the end of the season. But yeah, it also hurts USA Basketball because LeBron doesn't want to play, Carmelo Anthony doesn't want to play, and all they have is Kevin Durant.
Next, Andy Dalton. 6-year, 160 million. Oh, wait, we have a caller?
Yeah, guys, this is Larry Bird from the Indiana Pacers. I was wondering, who do you think should step up on my team? There's a lot of options right now, but with the George injury, who's got to be the main guy to really lead this team?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I mean, Hibbert, who knows with him? David West is getting old. George Hill, he's been a little inconsistent. You have this young guy named Solomon Hill, who was a backup small forward, but he might step up.
I think Roy Hibbert has to have a better year than last year. But David West is getting older. We don't know. None of their guards, I don't think, can step up. George Hill is like their only guard that has been playing for a long time. So.
Next question is Andy Dalton's 6-year, 116 million. Is he really worth that, Jack?
I don't think he's worth that much, but he's still he can be a good quarterback for the Bengals, but he's led them to the playoffs. I don't think he can take them any farther than the first round, though, in the playoffs.
Yeah, let's be real. I mean, the only reason he's had his decent career is A.J. Green. If he didn't have A.J. Green, he wouldn't be anywhere.
I think it's a bad extension. It's way too much. It makes him one of the most overpaid quarterbacks in the NFL. The fact that he can't get his team through the playoffs, it doesn't work for me. I think it's a bad extension, and I don't think they get out of the first round either.
Okay. Next topic is the NFL predictions. And do you guys think that Seattle can be the best in their division, or San Francisco can step up, or even Arizona can even be the wild card?
I think all those teams could potentially make it, but I think Denver is going to win it this year. I think with their key additions, like Aqib Talib and DeMarcus Ware, those are big defensive helps that they didn't have before. And maybe Peyton Manning could step it up and be better in the Super Bowl this year. I think they can win it.
What do you think?
I think the Seahawks have a chance to repeat because their defense is too good, and they still have Russell Wilson and Marshawn Lynch, who are both very good on offense. So with Richard Sherman and Earl Thomas, their defense and offense, I think they can lead it back to the Super Bowl.
And last question, go quick. Who's going to be the best rookie this year?
I think Carlos Hyde could be really good. I don't think Frank Gore is going to stay healthy.
And who do you think?
I think Bishop Sankey could be a very good running back. Also, Brandon Cooks could be one of the standout rookies.
Okay, that's a wrap from ESPN Big Three. This is Ty, Dylan, and Jack.
Hi, this is Matthew Kojima,
This is JP Suarez.
and this is ESPN in the morning. Our first topic of today is about Game 2 of the Freeway Series between the Dodgers and Angels. Kershaw will be going against Santiago of the Angels. I think that the Dodgers will take this game pretty easily. Santiago isn't that good of a pitcher, and the Dodgers hitting is top in the MLB. How about you? What do you think?
I think that the Dodgers will also win because of their pitching. Clayton Kershaw has been great this season, 13-2, 1.7 ERA, much better pitcher than Hector Santiago. He'll be their key to winning the game tonight.
Very true.
Our next topic is Ray Rice suspension. I personally think that it should have been double, maybe even more. What he did is not acceptable. What do you think?
That's definitely true. Ray Rice is a very good athlete, but doing stuff like that is very inappropriate. And I don't even get why athletes are able to get away with that stuff without going to jail. It just doesn't make sense, and there should be rules against this.
Now turning to the European side of sports, longtime Chelsea man and midfielder Frank Lampard quoted last year saying that he could never think about playing for another English team than his own club Chelsea. He shocked us all last week when he announced he was making the summer move to Manchester City. I don't understand why he would make that move. We seem to have a caller.
Hey guys, this is Ricky from Miami. I was wondering, I'm a big FC Barcelona fan. I just heard Xavi Hernandez is retiring. What are your thoughts on that situation, him retiring so young?
He's a great player. Like, he's been playing for many years. He's been an all-star. I think it would hurt Barcelona, but I guess he's getting old now, so he won't be as good as he used to be.
Well, I think Barcelona will go more on the attacking side now with the addition of Luis Suarez. He will be missed on the team, but Barcelona can only get better. But I actually think he should have played a little more to break his record of El Clásicos against Real Madrid.
All right, thanks guys.
Thank you.
All right. But back to the Frank Lampard topic. I don't think it was a smart move. He can bring experience to the team, but he's near the end of his career. Well, what do you think about this?
Well, he is getting old now. He's a veteran. At this point, he could do whatever he wants, but he is definitely going to be hated by the Chelsea fans, who he promised he would never go to another Premier League team. So if I was a Chelsea fan, I would hate him very much.
All right, this has been Good Morning ESPN with JP Suarez
And Matthew Kojima.
And remember, we will be on the Freeway Series Angels-Dodgers game tonight, coverage 6 to 10. So catch us there. Bye.
Hi, my name is Aaron Goldstein. This is Sam Swartz at Jackson Resin on Three-Man Weave. Let's get started right now. So, Sam, who do you think got the benefit of all these blockbuster trades on the trade deadline?
I think the Detroit Tigers did for sure, but the Tampa Bay Rays for sure got rid of their star pitcher, and they're really in trouble. And the Boston Red Sox, after giving up Lester, they pretty much just gave up because they need pitchers to win games. Hitters can get you home runs to get ahead in the game, but you need pitchers to really fight.
Who do you think got the best? Who do you think acquired the best players, and which team did they go to?
I think John Lester's trade to the A's was a great trade for the A's. Now the A's have one of the best pitching staffs in Major League Baseball, and Detroit Tigers also have the second best pitching staff in Major League Baseball with Justin Verlander, Max Scherzer, and David Price. It's pretty clutch.
Oh no, I totally agree. And the Tigers have the last 3 Cy Young winners on their rotation, the top 3 starters, and that just shows that they really want to win, and they really want to win a World Series. And I just love what Billy Beane does with the A's, and the fact that they do not have a big salary at all, but they somehow manage to have the best record in baseball. It's just astounding to me.
When I look at Detroit's
when I look at Detroit's roster, I think, wow, this team is really a team that can contend.
Yeah, I totally agree. But then, obviously, Oakland just shows that they can contend no matter who they have.
Yeah, that's true because they've done so well with the amount of money they have and the player quality that they have. I like what Billy Beane's done.
That's very true. Now, moving on to basketball, we'll start with Jackson. Jackson, after LeBron moved to Cleveland, the whole I'm coming home thing, Andrew Wiggins, Cleveland looks pretty good, but give me some trade scenarios. What do you think will happen? Do you think they'll do well? Give me your thoughts, Jack.
All right, so Aaron, I've been talking about this a lot, and I think that on August 23rd, when Andrew Wiggins' no-trade clause runs out, it seems probable that they would trade Andrew Wiggins for Kevin Love and maybe throw in a draft pick or two.
Yeah.
And the reason I think that is because for the fans, for the players, for the whole organization, they just want championships. That's what any organization wants. But if you want to wait till later when LeBron might get old and when Kyrie might be in his prime but might be a little older, that's probably the time when Andrew Wiggins gets good. And then you might just want to go straight for the championship now by trading for Love.
Thank you, Jack. Oh, we have a caller on the line. Hello?
Hey guys, this is Jared from Anaheim. I'm a big Lakers fan, longtime Lakers fan. I want to know, what are the Lakers going to do these next couple years to really get back to that championship form? Who's going to be the next star of the Lakers, and what deals do they need to make to become that top of the West team?
First of all, thanks for calling, but I don't know. I mean, this whole Jim Buss thing, I don't know what's going on with their organization, and they've turned from a dynasty, this great playoff team, to just seems like the Charlotte Bobcats. They
the past.
Yes, that's right. It's crazy to me, and I'm a big Laker fan, but it just seems like, I mean, I don't know, maybe Julius Randle, but he's not really NBA tested, so we don't know. Sam, what are your thoughts?
I totally agree with what Aaron's saying. They are looking like a bad team right now. If they really want to win, especially Kobe Bryant, I know he really wants to break Michael Jordan's record with more than 6 championships. Well, if they really want to break that record, he has to step it up.
I totally agree.
He can't be injured all the time, and I'm not really sure what they were thinking with the Boozer trade, and I don't know. They just need to rebuild.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. This is 3-Man Weave. I'm Aaron Goldstein. That's Sam Swartz. That's Jackson Resin. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome to MLB Tomorrow. I'm Malcolm Hobart alongside Charlie Hobart and Rex Quayle, and we're ready to get started with our talk show. But do we go to the ads first? But first we're going to get to our sponsors.
Gillette Fusion Pro Guide.
Flexball Technology.
Please buy it because we have
No money.
Because we have no money and this is futuristic. Anyway,
thank you, Flexball. Fusion Pro Guide. Want to get to our first topic?
Yeah, we got 3 topics today. One is going to be the new rules in baseball.
The second one is going to be the Cespedes, Gomes, and Lester trade. Was that a good move or not?
And the third is going to be what happened to the Texas Rangers and what is Ron Washington doing. Yeah. So anyway, let's get started.
So new rules in
baseball. No rules in baseball.
They're dumb.
Yes. I think that if you had a vote for the Buster Posey rule, if you had a vote for all catchers in the MLB, they would vote against it. They'd rather get hit than literally you're saying, oh, wait 1 sec, let me get out of the way. You go sliding down.
And also, that's their only way of getting on SportsCenter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That catchers don't get
They
enough
want to be
attention.
famous.
Yeah. But anyway, so I don't agree with the catcher's play rule. What do you think, Rex?
I think it doesn't bring any excitement to the game, but
When did baseball get boring?
okay, I'll answer that question later. But I mean, it can get boring with the no contact rule. But if you want to think about safety, then definitely take away that rule.
Well, I think if you want to think about safety, go to the players. It's
Yeah.
their choice to block the play, so they're putting their own selves in risk.
One thing, they call it the Buster Posey rule because he broke his leg, especially at a young
I don't
age.
even know what he did to his leg.
But anyway, he was trucked later on in his career
by Prince Fielder.
Yeah, and he's fine.
Yeah.
And so he can break his leg. Okay, his leg's recovered fully. Then break my leg again.
Okay, next
We'll win.
Next rule. What about the replay rule?
I think
I
the
feel
replay
like-
rule. I think what happened that the MLB got so babyish because you if it's close. Oh wait, no, I don't think it's right. We'll reverse it.
Yeah, no, it's dumb. The call is what it is.
And you can't change all these rules all of a sudden. After since 1800, nothing's happened, and then all of a sudden,
Since 1856, it's been like this. And then
We've got a caller on the line.
Hey guys, this is Billy Bean from the Oakland Athletics.
Oh, hello.
I wanted to get towards my trade that I just made recently. What do you guys think of the benefits of the trade? Are we going to be a World Series team? Are we going to win the World Series this year? That's what I want to know.
well, what my friend Rex,
well, I'm an Oakland A's fan, so when I take this matter if I was to take this matter into my hands, then I would think, since we've got good pitching on our hands, we've got Samaja, we've got now Lester, we've got Sonny Gray, we've got Jesse Chavez, we've got.
Yeah, you don't have to name the whole rotation.
Anyway, we've got so with all these pitchers now, our pitching is going to be almost unhittable. So, in answer to your question, I think it is good. But and then when you bring in Johnny Gomes, he can provide that extra offense when you need it. So all in all, I think you won it because even though Yoenis Cespedes was a very good player, the Red Sox traded away all of their pitchers. So,
Alright, I think it's bad because you got Donaldson. Nothing else. And you got a zillion pitchers. and before Lester, you had a zillion pitchers. It's Kool-Aid on pitching.
well,
You need
anyway,
Cespedes.
anyway, we've got now we're going to talk about the Texas Rangers. What is up with them? Why
Thanks, guys.
You're
I
welcome.
agree with that Aussie kid. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
what a jerk.
All right.
Anyway, now we're gonna get to Texas Rangers
I think
from.
that's where we're going to have to end it.
Just really quickly, the Texas Rangers. One reason is because they're not getting many stars on their team, the good players, because everybody's refusing to go to that team because they don't want to be playing baseball in 100 degrees weather in Texas.
Yes, so that's gonna wrap it up. I'm Malcolm.
And I'm Rex.
And I'm Charlie.
MLB tomorrow. Thank you.
And this is Me Sports with 6:80 a.m. with Michael Marone,
Eli Lesser,
and Solomon Koliako.
And our three topics today are the NBA Finals, the Ray Rice suspension, and how the Astros will look in 2017. So, who do you think is going to win the East this year, Solomon?
Well, I think the East is pretty non-existent right now. Still, after all the movement that's happened over there, I think the Bulls or the Cavs are going to fight it out for the top spot. But I eventually think the Cavs will win it because I think the Kevin Love trade is more an if. I think it's more of a when more than an if. So I definitely think that's going to happen as soon as Wiggins is eligible to be traded. So, yeah, I think I have the Cavs going for the East.
I don't agree with you whatsoever. Because, okay, yeah, the Cavs are a great team, but, why would Minnesota trade their best player? It's just ridiculous. It's just really dumb. And first, the Bulls are a more experienced team, first of all, and D Rose is healthy again. I think that D Rose will lead his team to the finals this year. I think they'll get that championship run.
It's a toss-up for me. I think if the Cavaliers get Kevin Love, it is for sure the Cavs. Because they will have everything. Do I even need to say? But for some reason, just thinking about it, I feel like the Wizards are going to surprise us this year. The Wizards,
they surprised me last year because they went from the worst team by far to 4th seed, I think it was. They surprised me, and I think they're going to surprise me this year again.
And how do you think about the West? Who do you think
Well,
will
I
pull
mean,
that off?
I think this is again the Spurs going for this year again. Honestly, I mean, with the core of Tim Duncan, Monty Ginobili, Tony Parker, and the Greg Popovich having the power to turn anybody into a star, even if they have never played an NBA game, I think that the Spurs will win out the West again and beat out the Thunder and other people.
Well, I disagree with you once again. Okay, I got my money on either the Dallas Mavericks or, yes, the Dallas Mavericks or the Golden State Warriors. Now, the reason I say that is because Golden State Warriors, you're too overpowered. You have the three-point shooting in Iguodala, Klay Thompson, and Steph Curry. And then now that Andrew Bogut's coming back, you have the rebounding and you have the athleticism. And, yeah, so, I mean, and if you have the Mavs, you have Dirk Nowitzki. And now that you got Tyson Chandler and Sean Marion if he doesn't go to the Cavs. And yeah, I think they'll win. One of those teams will win the West.
I find it kind of funny how both of you guys have never mentioned the Thunder. Sure, I'm not a fan of the Thunder, but I think they will win. They will win the whole NBA Finals this year. Cause, I mean, they still have the same core guys like Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and Serge Ibaka, and I think they'll win.
So what do you think about the Ray Rice suspension?
Well, I think that it was not very good. I mean, we don't know what happened in the elevator. We only saw what happened outside the elevator when Ray Rice was dragging his wife unconscious. So that already is, like, to me, like, crazy. But we don't know what happened inside, so I don't know. We can't really base it off the suspension since the police didn't even do anything. But I think that Ray Rice should have gotten more games.
I totally agree with you. How about you?
Let's move on to the Astros.
Okay. So now the Astros in 2017.
And I think we have a caller on the line.
Hi guys, this is Bo Porter
Oh,
from
the Astros manager.
Houston Astros. And I was wondering, I feel like my team's the team of the future. I'm really building a strong farm system. What do you guys think about our chances in 2017, 2018, those years?
Well, I don't know if you knew this, but the Astros went on the Sports Illustrated a few weeks ago because they think they're going to be the team of 2017 to win the World Series. They have George Springer, a very good farm system. They got pitching. They got Jonathan Singleton. They got all types of things, and I think they can be a contender.
I totally agree. Yeah. You guys are going to win in 2018 or 17.
I think they will do well unless they do a really stupid move. This has been Eli Lesser.
And Michael Morone.
And Solomon Goliaco.
And this is of Me Sports. Bye-bye on 680 AM. Woo! It's mommy.
Hi, I'm Harrison Rosenthal.
I'm Lucas Dodson.
And I'm Ben Goldberg.
And you're listening to Sports News Now on AM 690, Houston, Texas. Our first story of the day is regarding the apparent handshakes that went on yesterday between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Cleveland Cavaliers, sending Kevin Love to the Cavaliers.
Kevin Love is officially a Cavalier. They just have not signed the papers to... I don't know how to say this. Kevin Love is a member of the Cavs. They just need to wait till the trade deadline to officially put him on the team. But he is officially signed with the Cavaliers. So LeBron, along with Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving, those are just three all-stars. Oh, wait, hold on. I think we have a caller on the line. May I ask who's calling?
Hey guys, this is Mrs. Love.
Hi, Mrs. Love.
I am really pissed off at my son. I really thought he was going to come home, be a Laker, just like his uncle, and really work things out. But
wait, I'm gonna have to cut you off there. I'm gonna have to cut you off there. His uncle was a former member of the Beach Boys. So, yeah.
Not that uncle I was talking about. Keep it going, though. What do you guys think? Would he have a better future elsewhere, or is the Cavs the right place for him?
I think the Cavs personally, because with LeBron and Kyrie, I think that's an unstoppable team, and he'll go win a championship sooner.
And for me, I really think it's the Cavs. Kevin Love was tired and sick of playing with that Timberwolves team that they just couldn't win. They couldn't win. They couldn't win for trying. And now with this Cavs team, they're destined for a title, possibly even this year. This thing goes through, I think they're winning it all this year.
All I have to say on this is 1, 2, 3 All-Stars. Point guard, shooting guard, power forward. That's it. They are All-Stars. They will all be on the Eastern Conference All-Stars, and they will all be gladly wearing Cavs.
Thank you, Mrs. Love, for calling.
Thanks, guys.
No problem.
On to our next story for today, the winner and loser of the trade deadline for the MLB.
Okay, so I will start this off, and I have to say my opinion on this trade deadline. Wasn't the most exciting, but it wasn't a sleeper. Big moves happened, like Price. Actually, that's pretty much all it was, but Price. Price is probably one of the biggest names in baseball, and he got traded to the Tigers. So I think hands down the biggest winner of this trade deadline was easily the Tigers.
I have to disagree with you on that one. I think the A's won this. Even though giving away Yoenis Cespedes, an all-star, two-time home run derby back-to-back winner, I still think they got the upper hand of this trade, getting a veteran outfielder of Johnny Gomes and a all-star, a couple-time all-star, John Lester, who really affects their bullpen.
I think personally that the Red Sox actually won this trade deadline, getting Yoenis Cespedes, Alan Craig, Joe Kelly. Perfect rebuilding system for next year, and they got some prospects back from the Giants for Jake Peavy. I think the Red Sox won this trade deadline. Now the losers.
The losers, Phillies. I know they didn't make any moves, but they had so many people on the training block, like Cole Hamels, Cliff Lee, Marlon Byrd, Ryan Howard, and Jonathan Papelbon, AJ Burnett. All veterans that they could trade to get young prospects. They didn't do anything. I think it was a bad trade deadline.
I agree with the Phillies.
I honestly have to say the Tampa Bay Rays were the lost out the most. Giving away Price was the most stupidest thing that I have ever seen. David Price, it's too early to tell, but he will be a Hall of Famer with the number of Ks that he's put up already.
Well, I don't mean to cut you off here, but I think it was a great move because they were about to lose him to free agency and they wouldn't get anything in return. But since they did that, they just got him out with people in return.
Okay. Our final topic on today's show is quickly Super Bowl picks.
I'm not to be biased because I am a Bay Area kid, but I say my 49ers are winning it all this year. With the acquisition of Stevie Johnson, it just adds even more depth to that amazing wide receiving core.
My pick is San Diego Chargers.
My pick, I'm going with the Chicago Bears. And that's all for our show today. Thank you for listening to Sports News Now on AM 690, Houston, Texas.
Bye.
Bye.
Welcome to the JSS Hawley Show. Alongside my partners, John Souza and Sam Cohn, I am Edward Hawley. Today our three topics will be the MLB trade deadline, Paul George's injury, and Kevin Love trade. But before that, today's show is brought to you by Sports Chalet. Get all the things you need from baseball to soccer to cricket. Sports Chalet. Get everything sports. Thank you for that. And now, first going to the MLB trade deadline. About David Price, I really did not like that trade from the Rays because they were in the hunt to getting in the first place and getting in the playoff. They just gave away their ace pitcher. What do you think about it?
Well, I could agree and disagree in the same thing. I mean, I agree that it was a stupid deal to trade him away because you're in the pennant race, but also if you don't end up making the pennant race, that's the end of David Price's contract in Tampa Bay. And all you get is a competitive balance pick in the draft, and that really doesn't do you anything. So that I think they wanted to trade him away because teams had been giving them decent players, and they felt like they could get a decent player that's going to be there 4 or 5 more years, and they don't have to worry about signing David Price back.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I understand why they traded David Price. They know that he's not going to be there much longer after this year, so they wanted players back for him at least. But they were making a spot to get in. They were trying. They had a 21-6 record in their last 27 games before they traded him, so they definitely were getting there.
And Will Myers is coming back pretty soon too, so that would have added some power.
It looks like we got a call coming in.
Hey guys, this is Jeremy Treatman from Philadelphia, but I'm a huge Dodgers fan. I was wondering, who do you think, should the Dodgers have made a trade before the trade deadline, and who do you think it should have been?
I mean, there's pros and cons to trading. A pro is probably they didn't lose any of their major players like Yasiel Puig, Matt Kemp, but they probably should have made a move, try to get David Price. And if they were going to trade someone, Dan Herron's been struggling a lot, and same with Andre Ethier. So I think the Rays would take those two in return for David Price.
Well, to be honest with you, the Dodgers only acquired one player at the deadline, and that was Darwin Barney, and they sent him down to the minors already. So I mean, it could have been a pick where you need him in September type of thing, but I mean, you could have waited for the waiver wire to come around. But I think the Dodgers should have made a deal getting away Andre Ethier because the Dodgers have Jock Peterson in the minor leagues, and he needs to get called up because he is killing minor league pitching, and I think he's not really getting challenged or anything. So I think the Dodgers should have made a deal to get rid of an outfielder.
Yeah, speaking of outfielders, Carl Crawford's been bad this year, especially lately.
Yeah.
So they could have done something with him, getting like a outfielder or even like a utility player that could have helped them.
So now on to the Paul George injury. It was really bad. If you saw it, his leg just bent in half. And how do you think, John, that this is going to affect players wanting to play in international tournaments? And how is it going to affect the Pacers?
Well, I think it affects the Pacers themselves in a big way. I mean, the Pacers, they were built on Paul George after losing Lance Stevenson. And losing Paul George for, doctors are saying 18 months, pretty much means you don't have him all of this year and half of the year after that. And I think that losing Paul George for that long is such a big loss because he averages 20 points a game and he keeps building. I mean, you look from when he came in, he was averaging like 7 points. Now he's at 21 points a game.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we have another call coming in.
Yeah, hi guys, this is Coach Krzyzewski from Duke.
Oh,
and
hi, Coach.
Hey, Coach. Hi guys. I was wondering, a lot of people are giving me blame for playing Paul George there, but I'm thinking we should blame it on the stanchion. The thing behind the basket, it was too close to the line. What are your guys' thoughts, and who should be at blame for this injury?
Apparently, they measured it. I think it's like the minimum. I don't think it's too close. I mean, it's closer than regular, but all right. Do you guys have anything else to say about it?
Well, it was like what Sam said. They did measure it, but I mean, it's a freak accident. He just went out, tried to test layup, and he came down awkwardly.
Well, even if it was too close, it should have been whoever is supposed to look at the court from the United States Basketball Association. Whoever has that job, it's their fault that Paul George, because if the court wasn't safe in the first place, they never should have been playing there.
Thanks, guys. I feel a lot better now.
So finally, now we have the Kevin Love trade, which you'll know that LeBron went back to Cleveland, and Kevin Love is really, intrigued that he's gone. So do you think that the trade's going to happen?
Well, I mean, I think they're trying to get it done as close as possible, and I think if I were Cleveland, I would try to keep Andrew Wiggins out of the trade and maybe go Anthony Bennett and Tristan Thompson.
Okay, that'll be it for today. Thank you for listening to the JSS Hawley Show. For my partners, John Soes and Sam Cohn, I'm Edward Hawley.
This show has been brought to you by Proactive.
And
Hi, and welcome to the CMP Show at ESPN 710. I'm Levi Port.
I'm Caleb Crane.
And I'm Tristan Montero.
And today we'll be talking about sports. Please call us at 310-555-5555. Today we're going to be starting off with baseball. We'll be talking about the NL and AL wildcard races. Caleb?
Well, I think that the NL race is a lot different than the AL race, even though they're kind of similar because they both have a lot of contenders. But I think that in the AL it could be more clear. In the AL, I have like sleeper picks. I think the Cleveland Indians could come back because they're only like 4 games back. And I think that the Angels, however much of a Dodger fan I may be, I think that they could make a run at it, especially depending on how good they do in this series, because it's getting time that every series really counts. And then for the NL, I think I'm picking 2 Central teams, the Reds, because Joey Votto, he's a good, solid first baseman. They have good, solid pitching. Brandon Phillips, arguably the best fielding second baseman in the game, and he can hit too. And I think the Cardinals, because they made a really good run at it last year, they could probably win the NL, even though I think my Dodgers will win the NL. So that's my picks. Yep.
Tristan?
So for the American League, it's close, but I think it'll be the Angels and the Toronto Blue Jays. And then for the National League, it's a little bit more spread out. So I think it's going to be the Giants and the Pirates.
There's a lot of contending teams, and anything can happen. But in the American League, my top picks right now are the Angels and the Blue Jays. The Angels have, of course, one of the best hitting teams in Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, and Josh Hamilton, and Cole Calhoun helping out there.
Hey guys,
We got a caller.
Hey guys, this is John from Los Alamitos. I was wondering, the Dodgers, you guys touched a little bit on them. What do you think they would need to do to make a big push in the playoffs? Does someone need to step up in the lineup or in the rotation or someone off the bench? What do you guys think the Dodgers need to do to make it to the World Series?
I really think that Dan Herron needs to step it up, or they need to work on Stephen Fife. And I think they need a middle bullpen, because Brandon League has proven himself not to be too consistent, and same with Paco Rodriguez. I think the only good thing in their bullpen is Kenley Jansen. So, and the lineup, I think they just need to get healthy, get the outfield straightened out, and that's all.
I think, their rotation I think is good enough to get them there. Their hitting is the question mark. They're very inconsistent at times. We'll need, one of their outfielders will really need to step it up. Yasiel Puig will have to have a really hot stretch, and Matt Kemp will have to be playing like he's been playing lately. And a lot of players are going to have to step it up in order for them to get even close there.
I think that they need to have somebody off the bench to come in late in the game and make a big difference in it. Like somebody like Sean Figgins or somebody like that.
Thank you, caller. We are now going to move on to the NBA.
The East, I think, is the big race for the next season. It probably depends on the potential for a Cleveland Timberwolves trade, and I think that, if that trade doesn't happen, I see the Pacers. If it does, it's going to be close between the Cavs and the Pacers.
I think it'll be the Cavs for sure. They got LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, and possibly still with Andrew Wiggins. And then second will probably, I'm thinking the Bulls because they got Derrick Rose. So.
Yeah, there's a lot of contending teams there, but I'm thinking the Bulls with their pickup of Pau Gasol, Derrick Rose is looking very healthy, Doug McDermott could be a big factor there. My sleeper pick there is the Wizards. I think John Wall and Bradley Beal are a dynamic duo, and Paul Pierce will add some leadership there. Thank you all. Thank you for listening, and good night.
See you next time.
Hi, I'm Saul Koliako with Eli Howell, and this is Baseball Central Radio on
I'm Eli Lesser, by the way.
Okay, on 8:50 a.m. Today it's an all baseball edition, like always. So we'll have 3 topics: the trade deadline, the wild card race, and who will win the World Series this year. So let's start with the trade deadline. What do you think about what's been happening?
I feel like it was the same few teams that made moves. I feel like there was some teams that didn't make a move that definitely should have to make them further. For instance, the Phillies. They have Chase Utley, Jimmy Rollins, Cole Hamels, Ryan Howard, Cliff Lee that they could trade and build up for the future, but they did nothing.
We have a caller.
Hello guys, this is Big Papi. I wanted to know, I think Yoenis Cespedes is amazing for our team, and I think we made the best trade of anyone. And watch us out in the World Series. What do you guys think?
Well, I definitely think that was a pretty good trade for the Red Sox. I think that they had no need for Lester. I don't think they had any need for Lackey either. So I think the fire sale they did was a good trade because instead of going for that treasure trove of prospects that they were going for, they actually got some good Major League talent that could help them in 2015 instead. And I think you, Big Papi, could probably help mentor Cespedes, who's also Cuban. So
they definitely need pitching, but I feel they are an offensive-based team, and adding Yoenis Cespedes in the heart of their lineup will help them even more. And they also added Alan Craig, which will help even more.
Well, thank you, Big Papi.
Gracias, guys. Buenas noches.
Okay, so next topic, the wild card races. Well, let's start with the AL really quickly. I think that the Angels will definitely hold out. It's either the Angels or the O's and the A's in the wild card because Angels are right behind the A's, so they could be flip-flopping from that wild card spot. And the rest is really up to whoever is going good. I really think the Yankees could eventually secure that spot. They've been red hot for the past a few days. Even though I hate them, I do think they could become a wild card place.
Well, we know nobody in the Central will be a wild card because there's only one contending team.
Yes.
I feel bad for the Angels because even if they do surge and start winning every game, it's not like the A's are going to start choking because they're just too good. So they definitely will get one of the wild card spots and definitely win the wild card. But I think the other team will be whoever doesn't win the Central. Or maybe the Mariners could surprise us.
Sounds good. Well, our last topic for today is the World Series and who will win it. What do you think about that?
First, I think the matchup will be the Dodgers versus the Tigers.
Okay.
People think that the A's will make it for sure, but it's because the Tigers have beaten the A's in the past 3 years in the playoffs, and I don't think the A's will be able to beat them this year. But maybe next year. But it's going to be tough pitching in the World Series. I do not see high-scoring games because Game 1, you'll have Verlander versus Kershaw. Then Game 2, Scherzer versus Greinke. And then Game 3. Now, Game 3, I think the Tigers will take that one because David Price will outmatch Ryu. What do you think?
Well, I agree with you on the Tigers. I thought it was kind of funny how what happened was the A's got Lester, and they're like, oh my God, we can finally match up with the Tigers pitching-wise. And the Tigers are like, nope, we'll get David Price. So I think the Tigers definitely will overmatch the Oakland A's like they always do. So I think that the Tigers will eventually get into the World Series because I don't think there's anybody stopping them, especially with Miguel Cabrera and all their hitting that they have. They still have. So, and for the NL, I really do think that one of the teams that could potentially make it is the Dodgers. I agree with you. I think that the Dodgers finally could have that year where they finally get there. But, I mean, there's other teams in contention. I do think the Giants could potentially surprise people in the wild card spot, and they could go all the way. I think that would be a great story too.
Thank you, Solomon. This has been Eli Lesser
Solomon Koliako
on Baseball Central, AM 870.
Hello, everybody. I'm Noah Greenblatt, along with
Will Myers
and Andrew Arco.
And this is Love It or List It. Today we have 3 topics. First one, Paul George with the broken leg. Second, the MLB trade deadline, the teams that did and did not make any deals. And third and last is the Dodgers-Angels Freeway Series. So guys, let's start off with the Paul George broken leg. I watched that clip on Saturday, and it still haunts me. I mean, what was your reaction when you saw how he broke his leg?
I didn't want to see it again. It was too ugly.
Yeah,
Too ugly.
2 syllables. Freak-ish. I mean, the worst. Don't even get me started. I mean,
Agreed.
Andrew?
Yeah, and that was like the same injury last year as Kevin Ware.
No, it wasn't. Here's the difference. Kevin Ware, his bone just popped out. Paul George, his leg is full on snapped. Full on broken. It's a compound fracture. It's a full on break. He's expected to miss 9 to 12 months. Kevin Ware, he was back the next season. Paul George probably isn't going to be back until the NBA Finals of next year. That's a pretty long time.
Make the finals.
Yeah, it was really gross.
Pacers are hopeless. That's all I got to say. Now we're moving on to the trade deadline. What did you think of the fact that the Dodgers didn't make... Let's start off with the Dodgers not making any trades. What was your reaction to that?
Well, that was good for them because they were on a streak.
In my opinion, though, something went wrong after the trade deadline. The Dodgers started losing games. It's their longest period of games lost since maybe 2 games before the All-Star break. But the thing that really gets me is that they didn't trade Andre Ethier. They were thinking about trading Matt Kemp. I don't think that they should have done that because they didn't, which is good, because Matt Kemp was too good of a guy. Whereas Andre Ethier, you're paying him $16 million a year to do what? Sit on the bench.
He's playing left bench.
Thank you. He's playing left bench. And now that they're going to start getting into waivers, I think you either waive Andre Ethier or Dan Herron, because Dan Herron has pitched like crap. His last start. Ridiculous. Andrew, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree.
I know, I said a cuss word on national radio.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to a different team, the Tampa Bay Rays. What did you think about the
I am
David Price trade?
happy.
Yeah, because now the Tigers probably have the best rotation in baseball with Anibal Sanchez and Rick Porcello. They aren't as good, but I think this year...
forgetting, like, Price and Verlander.
Justin Verlander, I'm not saying the Tigers are a bad team, but Justin Verlander has the worst ERA in the rotation this year. 4.79.
He was second in the rotation. I don't know how it was bad.
But we got to move on here. Our last topic of the day. Dodgers-Angels Freeway Series. They lost last night. Tonight is probably it's a must-win game because they're only 1 game ahead of the Giants. What do you think they need to do to win tonight?
They need to get some hits. And they need to lose.
Seriously?
That's the key for the Angels to win. And then the Dodgers, they just need to put D. Gordon in instead of Turner.
Oh, I don't know. I'll be at that game tonight, but they just gotta.
You can tell me because all I'll be doing tonight is sitting on the couch and watching
some
TV.
Popcorn.
Watching
Yeah,
TV.
and since they had a big loss last night, they really gotta need to improve.
I got the butt whooped. Tonight, the pitching matchup, I believe, is
Kershaw.
And I don't know who's going for some nobody for the Angels. Anyway, that wraps it up for us. With Noah Greenbutt, I'm Noah Greenbutt with Will Myers and
Andrew Arco.
This has been Love It or List It. Good night, everybody.
Hello and welcome to the CMP show at ESPN 710. We are your hosts. I'm Levi Port.
I'm Caleb Crane.
And I'm Tristan Montera.
And today we are talking about baseball, the World Series, for instance. And the playoffs are coming up, so let's talk about our World Series favorites. What do you think, Caleb?
I'm all Dodgers, and I think they really have what it takes to make it all the way through October and into November because that's how late
and screwed up the playoff system is right now. I'll get to you about that later. And so I think the Dodgers have it because they have the best rotation in baseball, best 1, 2, 3, 4. If they can do something with Heron or get Fife up here in LA from wherever he is, probably in Albuquerque, get him over here, and they'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they won't even have to switch to a 4-man rotation for the playoffs. And the lineup, I mean, they just really have to get Matt Kemp out there and do something with Andre Ethier. So yeah, I think Dodgers.
Yeah, the Dodgers I think have a serious chance. So as long as they play consistently. What do you think, Tristan?
I think in the American League, it's going to be either the A's or the Tigers, but I'm leading towards the Tigers. The Tigers have a better rotation and a better lineup. Their rotation, they have 5 good starters. They got Scherzer, Verlander, Price, Sanchez, and Porcello. And then from the National League, I'm kind of going on a sleeper pick here. I think it's going to be the Brewers. The Brewers are going to make it.
I really don't think the Brewers have it. I mean, other than Ryan Braun, I mean, they don't, and they have Aramis Ramirez, but baseball doesn't, it's not like basketball where if you have 2 or 3 really good players, you can win it. If you have 2 or 3 really good players in baseball, you can make the playoffs. But
we got a caller.
We got a caller.
Hello, this is Jonas Cespedes. I am very happy on my new Boston Red Sox team. I do not like what my A's did. Do you think my Rojo Sox, have a chance of winning the World Series?
No, not at all. I think they're way out of playoff contention right now. They have no pitching right now. They've traded away all their stud pitching, John Lester, and Lackey, and Peavy. They're all gone. They got Cespedes, and they have Craig now, and they got Kelly, but I just think it's way not enough to get there. 2015, they can maybe make the playoffs, but I doubt they're even going to get to the playoffs this year.
No bueno. We win it all this year.
Good confidence, Cespedes.
I think both of the East leagues are not gonna make the World Series this year. That's pretty rare. I mean, the AL Tigers, yeah. And what I was talking about before the call, Brewer, I mean, in baseball, you can't really win.
But what about the Cardinals? The Cardinals are a monster in the postseason. I can't believe we're not even talking about the Cardinals. What is going on? Adam Wainwright?
The Cardinals have a chance. I was just talking about the Brewers and how I don't think they have a chance because they only have like 3 or 4 good players, and you can't win the World Series in baseball with 3 or 4 players. Maybe if you have 5 or 6, but definitely not with 3 or 4. And I don't see them having any more than that unless you count a dog.
I think it's going to be the Cardinals and the A's. I think that even though the Tigers probably have a better overall team than the A's, I think the A's have more heart in this. Billy Beane has put their full trust. They're giving them the confidence to go all the way. They lost Cespedes, their most dangerous hitter, but I think they're still going to be able to get through that.
Yeah, they have that definite team thing. They have there's really no stopping in the fear factor of their lineup as a pitcher. And one more thing. Wait a second.
Oh, another caller.
Another caller.
Hello. You're on the air.
What do you think will be both of the World Series teams on the score? And how many games? Because I'm gonna be on sleeping, and I want to know if I can make the game.
We couldn't understand that caller, so we are going to move on along. There seems to be miscommunication.
We're moving on.
I'm sorry for that call.
His agent's here.
Hello, this is Yasio. What about the Dodgers? What about the Dodgers?
We seem to have a prank call here. Sorry about that, folks.
Sorry about that.
There's no Yasiel Puig agent. This is very strange. Thank you all for listening. It's been a pleasure. Good night.